welcome to day 2 of our Twitter experiment with 4 Flamingos of the Apocalypse. So far we have got 2 YouTube subscribers, 6 YouTube views and 2 YouTube comments, and on the Twitter side we've got 3 Twitter followers, 10 Twitter likes and 1 Twitter comment. Also, Twitter thought I was a robot at first. Now, this is something you will get from time to time if you're doing a lot of self-promotion. You start a new account, you start posting something to it quickly. The algorithm will assume that you're a robot. So that was fine. I just jumped through the hoops it asked for and came out the other side. So the account is fine. I showed the YouTube video to a few of my character consultancy clients and a few friends. Now, I didn't particularly want to do that to like the broader TCC audience because I don't want to cheat and use the audience I have there for this project. But I think most of us have got just a few online friends, if at the very least. So I wanted to kind of mimic that and show this project to them. Now, what happened there wasn't huge uptake on that, huge amount of interest, and that's something that you'll often find. So your friends are or fans of a current project are interested in you for a particular reason. That might be because they just like you as a person. Or they might be interested in one project, but that doesn't mean they'll be interested in another. So just to give you a heads up, your other audiences may or may not be interested in what you have to offer. So that's what I found. So for those 2 YouTube subscribers, both were already existing clients. So that's 2 TCC people who are interested in what I'm doing. 6 YouTube views, and most of those were from already existing clients. I just happen to know because of the timing of those views. The 2 YouTube comments, take a look at the screenshot now. Both of those showed up very soon after I posted the video, and at one point I had 2 comments by 2 different people, but only 1 view. So either YouTube doesn't displaying the number of views and things, or these were robots. But they're not being offensive or trying to sell anything or promote their own channels, so I'll let them stay for now. As far as the 1 Twitter comment goes, that I can't view it. I don't know what's happened there, but never mind. The 3rd follower on Twitter is a TCC client, and he's responsible for all 10 likes on Twitter. I don't know if he'll keep that up over time, but hey, 10's a good start. Which means it's time to think about reaching out again. So I want to reach out to those people or bots who responded to us. Now, for those 2 YouTube comments, I'm just going to give them generic replies myself, just in case they're real people, and because it's possible that YouTube assesses the popularity of a video based on the total number of items in the comments section. So it may possibly count my comments too. That would mean a total of 4 comments, but hey, it's a start. It's good to get into good habits as well. I'm not going to automatically subscribe to or follow back everyone who does the same to me or who comments or anything like that to my work, because I'll end up with an awful lot of people then. I will eventually start watching and following people back, but I just want to assess that differently. Also, I think YouTube would see that as potentially sub for sub. It would look a lot like it, and YouTube punishes that. So I'm not going to dig that pit. Now, for the 2 strangers on Twitter, the first is Darling Axe Editing. Now, that account is big, and getting a retweet from them would be very helpful for the 4 Flamingos account. So I had a look at the kinds of things they already retweet, and that tends to be insights into how to write good quality material, commentary on the experience of being a writer, and retweets relating to querying, which is part of the editing process or getting published process. So on a future day, I'm going to make sure I include tweets about, well, giving writing tips and use the writing tips hashtag. The other stranger tweeter was Septimus Brown, who also has a huge following. So I replied to one of his tweets. It just looked like a natural, easy thing to reply to, so I did. Around half of his content is retweets of other people, usually Darling Axe's tweets and a few social justice related tweets. So, planning today's tweets. If we click into each tweet and view tweet activity, we can see how many times each of yesterday's tweets were seen. That's what impressions means. And how much people engaged with each, and that's helpful information for us, so we need to know. As far as impressions goes, we've got 47 for my first tweet, 41 for my second, then 31, 20, that one doesn't have any hashtags, 85, and that's an interesting one. The hashtags for that one were business and YouTube, and there weren't any about writing. 25, that was just one writing related hashtag. 80, that had hashtags about sci-fi and fantasy, and 2 people expanded on this tweet, so they saw the whole thing. It's good to know because I've got a link to for flamingos in that one, so hopefully they clicked through and saw that. Then 39 impressions, and 50, that was a mention of business again, and there was one introduction hashtag in there. So I'll want to try that again today. I got several detail expands from that one profile click and that reply that I can't see. And the last tweet yesterday had 19 impressions. The hashtags for that were character, species and world building and writers community, so apparently they're not so likely to get a response. So overall, our most effective hashtags are writing, writer, sci-fi, fantasy, business, and possibly introduction. I'll test that out. Thank you for listening, and I'll hand you over to Editing Hayley.
Hi, this is Editing Hayley. I checked out a few hashtags that might be helpful, irrelevant, or harmful to this project. Those are Writers Cafe, WriterBot, and Writers Lift/Writer Lift. A quick Google search showed that this is a good one. www.writerscafe.org is a website if you want somewhere to post your work. And they just happen to have their own hashtag. That's all good, and I'll start using it today. Hashtag WriterBot. There's a Discord WriterBot, but it doesn't look like that's what most people who use this hashtag on Twitter are using it for. I'm not sure if this one's that useful, but I might use it. Hashtag WritersLift/hashtag WriterLift. A few months ago, a handful of writers on Twitter who had been using one or both of these hashtags were either banned, shadow banned, whatever that means, or were otherwise restricted. These 2 hashtags are still popular, but I'll hold off from using them myself, just in case. But for now, we've got promotion to do. I've prepared my 10 tweets, which you can see here, so here's my plan. Yesterday, I used the hashtags writing, Twitter, Writer's Life, Writer's Community, Writing Community, and for Photo. Today, I'm going to include fantasy and then experiment with author and story. All of these showed up as suggested variations when I typed in a hashtag into the tweet box, followed by sci-fi and story. Hashtag fantasy didn't come up with any helpful suggestions. Today's 10 tweets are going to be a mix of links to my first YouTube video and behind the scenes stuff to do with writing for flamingos. That's it for now, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.